1793, what are wags in Britain said to have mocked as wheezy, sneezy and freezy, slippy, drippy and nippy, showery, flowery and bowery, and wheaty, heaty and sweety?
Are they the months of the French Revolutionary calendar?
They were. Not very amusing though, is it? No, not really. Can't call them really wags. Tiraspol is the second city in terms of population of its country, but virtually since independence in 1991 has functioned as the de facto capital of a breakaway region which in English is usually called Transnistria or Transdniester. This is an entity which remains officially unrecognised. This sounds like a 3-volume novel, doesn't it, really? This is an entity which remains officially unrecognised by any other country, and negotiations on a settlement continue, in which European country de jure is Tiraspol.
Moldova.
Yeah, I needn't have said all that. You knew the answer as soon as I began. In the New Testament, which small village in western Galilee was the site of Jesus' first recorded miracle, the turning of water into wine?
Cana.
Cana is quite right. 5 in a row. Five in a row, and of course, the man gets an extra mark. We move on to Dr. Bailey. And I ask him this: the name of a legendary figure of the American frontier in the early 19th century became associated with a real-life nurseryman called John Chapman because of his prolific distribution of seedlings. Who was the legendary figure?
Johnny Appleseed.
It was. Cermets, spelt C-E-R-M-E-T-S, are composite materials with many useful applications. They're designed to combine the most desirable qualities in relation to hardness, heat resistance and malleability of 2 different types of material. Metals are one. Can you name the other?
Ceramics.
Yes. In an attempt to reverse the precipitous decline in numbers of one of Britain's most endangered mammals, the first large-scale release of 500 young bred in captivity was made along the River Dore in Herefordshire this summer to try and establish some 50 colonies. Which creature?
Badgers.
No. Mr. Stainer?
Voles.
Voles is quite right. Mr. Gibson, it's your turn. Which unit of measurement is used to determine sound intensity levels?
The decibel.
Yes. 3 US presidents have been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, 2 of them, Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson, whilst in office. Who was the third more than 20 years after his period of office ended?
Jimmy Carter.
It was. In which sort of landscape would you find long ridges called seifs, S-E-I-F-S?
A desert.
Yes. The first woman to ride in horse racing's Grand National did so in 1977, and the first woman to complete the course did so in 1982. Can you name one of them?
Geraldine Rees.
Yes, you're right. And the other one is Charlotte Brew. You probably knew that as well, Mr. Gibson. Did you?
I wouldn't have been sure.
Oh, right. The young soldier Paul Boehmer, if I pronounce it correctly, is the central character of which 1929 anti-war novel?
All Quiet on the Western Front.
You're quite right, sir. And that's another 5 in a row. Well done, and you get the extra mark. We pass to Mr. Bannerman. Representations of the leaves of which plant, Mr. Bannerman, feature on the coronets of dukes, marquises and earls?
Strawberries.
You're right. Which high-quality variety of tea is made from leaves picked while still very young and with a coating of white down, or in some cases from the leaf buds?
Oolong.
Nope. Dr. Bailey?
Pico.
Pico is quite right. And we come triumphantly to the end of our opening round, and I'll tell you how the scores are. We have these: 1 for Mr. Bannerman, 3 for Dr. Bailey, 6 for Mr. Gibson, 7 for Mr. Stainer. Now we come to Mr. Stainer. Which dwarf, in a tale collected by the brothers Grimm, offered to help a miller's daughter spin straw into gold?
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes, indeed. And she had to guess his name, and he was put out when she got it right. This was brought home to me in a bank in Australia when the girl behind the counter looked at my signature and said, "Is that really your name?" and pealed with laughter. Well, it's not much of a name, but it's better than Rumpelstiltskin, just about, anyway. Another question for you, Mr. Stainer. Which right in English law for fugitives from justice was gradually limited from the 15th century onwards, with final abolition for criminal offences coming in 1623, and for civil ones a century later? It can't be that funny. Where's the joke?
Funny because I'm a solicitor and I don't think I have
What?
a clue, but a right for fugitives.
Out of time. Oh, Mr. Bannerman
Sanctuary.
is quite right. Dr. Bailey, what name is given to the mass of solid rock that underlies the Earth's various soils and surface rocks?
Substrata.
No? Mr. Stainer?
Bedrock.
Bedrock is quite right. Now it's Mr. Gibson's turn. CinemaScope, Panavision and VistaVision have all been systems developed for what kind of cinematic projection?
Widescreen.
Yes, it is. In which field of performance have the Maskelynes, so pronounced apparently, and Davenports in Britain, and the Hermans and Blackstones in the United States all established what have been referred to as dynasties at various times since the 19th century?
Magic.
Yes. Which spiral galaxy is the nearest neighbour to our own Milky Way and the largest member of the local group of galaxies?
Andromeda.
Yes. Previous Islam-based parties, such as the Welfare Party and the Virtue Party, had been banned in the late 1990s and early 2000s as a threat to the secular nature of the state. But in 2002, the Justice and Development Party, with its strong Islamic base, won a landslide election victory in which country?
Algeria.
No. Dr. Bailey?
Turkey.
Turkey is quite right. Well done. And now whose turn is it? It's Mr. Bannerman's turn. Which disastrous period of social and political upheaval in China, instigated by Mao Zedong, began 40 years ago?
The Cultural Revolution.
We wanted also the great proletarian cultural revolution, but if Jawkins is satisfied, by golly, so am I. This year saw the 50th anniversary of the album charts in Britain. We now hear a successful track from the album, which lies fourth in the table of total weeks spent at number 1 in that chart, and is the highest placed album not to be a film musical soundtrack.
But I've no idea.
No, along with me, I'm with you there, sir. Mr. Gibson.
Bridge over troubled water.
Yes, well done. By Simon and Garfunkel, and the song is called Cecilia. But I still wonder, has anyone ever seen these charts? I envisage them as sort of rolls of papyrus or something like that, scrolls wound round with ribbon and covered with seals and probably hanging up in somewhere in the, well, I should think the Tower of London, wouldn't you? But no one's ever seen them. At the end of that round, 3 to Mr. Bannerman, 4 to Dr. Bailey, 9 to Mr. Stainer, 10 to Mr. Gibson. Mr. Stainer, the western and more sheltered coast of which island, situated on the Caribbean, is promoted as the Platinum Coast because of its white, sandy beaches?
Hispaniola.
No. Dr. Bailey?
Jamaica.
No. Mr. Gibson?
Barbados.
Yes, sir. Barbados. Well done. It's Dr. Bailey's turn. Which brown pigment, often used to give a transparent wash effect to pen and ink drawings, favoured by Gainsborough, among others, was prepared by boiling the soot made out of wood?
Sienna.
No. Mr. Stainer?
Umber.
No. Mr. Bannerman?
I was going to say burnt umber.
No. Mr. Gibson?
Ochre.
No. Bistre. B-I-S-T-R-E is the answer. Mr. Gibson, it's your turn. In the context of the paranormal and supernatural, What is it claimed that the technique of Kirlian photography is able to show?
Ghosts, supernatural presence.
No? Dr. Bailey?
The existence of the soul of a person.
Ah. I'll just have a
The
look.
aura, perhaps?
What?
The aura as part
That's
of that.
nice. I was waiting for that word, but I was getting the okay from Jorkins anyway. Yes, the auras or life forces surrounding all living things. Yep, that's right. Mr. Bannerman, it's your turn. Which word is used for the side of a coin or medal upon which the main design or device is struck?
The obverse.
It is. Some of the local memory tags used on British cars for identifying a vehicle's home area are self-explanatory, L for London, for example. Others are less so. Cars from Kent and Sussex have the letter G. What phrase does the G represent? Out of time, Mr. Gibson.
Garden of England.
Garden of England is quite right. So I must say, Garden of England and on the front of your car, letter G, it's a bit smug. At the end of the round, the scores are 4 to Mr. Bannerman, 5 to Dr. Bailey, 9 to Mr. Stainer, 12 to Mr. Gibson. Mr. Stainer, in the 1670 play, The Forced Marriage, it was the first written by a writer who produced some 15 between then and the end of the 1680s, as well as novels and other writings. Probably the best-known play is the two-part work, The Rover, about Cavalier exiles abroad. Who was the writer?
Kidd.
No. Dr. Bailey?
Southern.
No. Mr. Bannerman, your light was on.
Aphra Bain.
Aphra Bain is right. Dr. Bailey, which word, the Sanskrit for thread, is generally used in Buddhism to refer to sacred texts regarded as canonical?
Sutra.
Yes. The actor who created the voices of many characters in the early days of children's television, including Mr. Turnip, Captain Pugwash, and Bill and Ben, the Flowerpot Men, died this year aged 82. What was his name?
Hawkins.
Yes. Which camera, the first successful 35mm camera, was developed in the mid-1920s by Oscar Barnack and has been said to have revolutionized photojournalism?
Polaroid.
No? Mr. Gibson?
Leica.
Leica is quite right. Your turn. The Cathedral of St. Martin was the site of the coronations of Hungarian rulers between the mid-16th century and the early 19th. But it's not in Hungary, it's in the capital city of another European country. Which city is it?
Bratislava.
It is. The first live radio broadcast of a football league match in Britain, 1927, and the first live football on television 10 years later, involving demonstration games, both came from the same ground, one whose long history came to an end this year. Which ground was that?
Highbury.
Yes. Omar Bongo is the longest-serving head of state in Africa, having been president of the country since 1967. Was sworn in for another 7-year term at the beginning of this year. Which country?
Gabon.
Yes. T cells, or T lymphocytes, are a vital part of the human body's immune system, generated in the bone marrow. They're then matured in and subsequently sent into the bloodstream. From which of the body's glands?
The lymph glands.
No, Dr. Bailey?
Thymus.
Thymus is quite right. Mr. Bannerman, it's your turn. Base jumping, B-A-S-E, is the practice of using a parachute to jump from fixed objects such as buildings. The word base, in fact, is an acronym referring to the broad types of objects concerned. The B, unsurprisingly, stands for building. Can you say what any one of the other 3 letters stands for? Now, here's a chance to make it up. Work it out. Though time is ticking away, it's gone. Dr. Bailey?
Elevation.
No. Mr. Stainer?
Aerials.
No.
Antennae.
Well done, Mr. Gibson. A equals antenna, uninhabited tower structures such as aerial masts, but that's not what it stands for, you see. S equals span, that is bridges, arches or domes. E equals earth, natural formations such as cliffs. And what they've left out, B equals balmy, if you're ever tempted to try it. At the end of the round, the scores are now these: 5 to Mr. Bannerman, 8 to Dr. Bailey, 9 to Mr. Stainer, 17 to Mr. Gibson. Mr. Stainer, 100 years ago, Captain Alfred Dreyfus was exonerated of spying after years of imprisonment and a scandal that had bitterly divided France. A key point in the battle to free Dreyfus was Émile Zola's famous letter, J'accuse. It is sometimes claimed, however, that the use of the attention-grabbing title, J'accuse, was the idea of the owner and editor of the newspaper L'Aurore, which published it, who was also himself a politician. Who was that?
Poincaré.
No. Mr. Gibson?
Jaurès.
No. Yes, Dr. Bailey?
Carnot.
No. Mr. Bannerman, don't be left out, sir, I beg.
Talleyrand.
No, it was Georges Clemenceau. Your turn now, Dr. Bailey. The Romanian Georgi Zamfir has long been recognized as one of the leading exponents of which traditional musical instrument?
Balalaika.
No. Mr. Gibson?
The panpipes.
The panpipes is right. Mr. Gibson, where in the British Isles could you encounter bronze figures of Norman wisdom sitting on a bench outside the town hall and George Formby leaning on a nearby lamppost?
Morecambe.
No, you think that's where they'd have things like that, do you? Well, you never know. No, it's not Morecambe. Mr. Bannerman?
Try Liverpool.
Oh, no. Certainly not. Dr. Bailey?
Isle of Man.
Isle of Man is right. I have a chum who does an imitation of George Formby so accurate it has me running screaming from the house. Mr. Bannerman, which technique for varnishing furniture, producing a hard finish, and originating in the Far East, has various kinds of different plant and animal origins, including tree saps and insect secretions? What's it called?
Japanning.
No. Dr. Bailey?
Shellac.
No. Mr. Gibson?
Lacquering.
Lacquering is quite right. And at the end of that round, let me see how things have changed. 5 to Mr. Bannerman, 9 to Dr. Bailey, 9 to Mr. Stainer, 19 to Mr. Gibson. We begin our final round of this final programme with Mr. Stainer. In biological terms, which part of a limb or organ would be described as the distal part? D-I-S-T-A-L.
The sort of rear side, the side facing nearest the body.
No, it isn't that.
The bit furthest from the body, like the hand in the case of the arm.
You're quite right, sir. Absolutely right. Well done, Dr. Bailey. We could hardly let the 250th anniversary of the writer of our own theme tune, if we can so undignify it by calling it such, go by without acknowledgement. Appropriately for our final programme, we now hear the finale of one of his symphonies. It was written in haste in late 1783, when Mozart and his wife broke a return journey to Vienna, and their host requested a symphony, as Jorkins put it, as you do. On 31st of October, Mozart wrote to his father, "On Tuesday, the 4th of November, I'm giving a concert in the theatre here. As I haven't a single symphony with me, I'm writing a new one at breakneck speed. Named for the place where all this happened, what is the symphony's popular nickname?" bad for something he knocked up in half an hour, do you think? What was the name, Dr. Bailey?
Linz.
Linz is right. It is the Linz Symphony, number 36 in C major, and performing it there were the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra, conducted by Raphael Kubelik, which two-player card game has the alternative name Strip Jack Naked. Out of time? Mr. Bannerman?
Beggar my neighbour.
Yes, Beggar My Neighbour, or indeed Beat Your Neighbour Out of Doors. Whose turn, Mr. Gibson? Jack London's most famous novel is The Call of the Wild, published in 1903. Its protagonist is a dog called Buck. A couple of years later, he produced another well-known tale along similar lines. This time, the dog's name was the title. What is the book called?
White Fang.
It is. Which African country's flag has 6 equal horizontal stripes, the colours black, yellow and red being repeated with a central white disc containing a crested crane, the national symbol?
Uganda.
It is. What was the name of the machine, one of the first successful electronic digital computers, which was designed during the Second World War to assist code breakers at Bletchley Park in their efforts to crack German encryption?
Colossus.
Yes. A movement within Christianity consisting of several federations or alliances of congregations traces its origin as a worldwide movement to a great revival in Los Angeles 100 years ago. It tends to take a literal approach to the scriptures and is characterized by baptism with the Holy Spirit, divine healing, and speaking in tongues. Which movement is that?
The Evangelical movement.
No? Dr. Bailey?
Pentecostalism.
Yes, you're right. Yes, someone's going to clap. I heard someone start it all. Yes, indeed. Now, Mr. Bannerman, the world's highest railway line opened to passenger traffic this year. It runs between Golmud in the Chinese province of Qinghai and which city?
Lhasa.
Yes. Which colourful garden flower, a member of the aster family, was named by the scientist Linnaeus in the 18th century after a professor of medicine at Göttingen University, and has the nickname Youth and Old Age, supposedly because of its multiple layers?
Chrysanthemum.
No. Mr. Stainer?
Fuchsia.
No. Dr. Bailey?
Dahlia.
No.
Nigella.
No. Mr. Gibson, it is zinnia. The professor's name was Zinn, hence zinnia. And now I'll give you the final scores of this, our final. 7 to Mr. Bannerman, 9 to Mr. Stainer, 12 to Dr. Bailey, 22 to Mr. Gibson. Well, what a well-fought tussle it was, but Mr. Gibson has shown them a clean pair of heels. He is Brain of Britain for 2006. And here, to hand over the engraved silver salver, is Paul Schlesinger, the head of Radio Entertainment.
Thank you very much. Well, I feel a bit of charlatan standing up here on stage. I'm delighted to be standing up here on the final of this year's Brain of Britain. I think I got 1 in a row, and I had the script as well. It gives me great pleasure to present to Pat Gibson this year's award for Brain of Britain. Well done. And commiserations to the runners-up as well.
Thank you very much. A very exciting and tense final, and I'm delighted to win this trophy. Thank you.
And so, our renewed congratulations to Mr. Gibson on becoming Brain of Britain 2006. Until next year, I bid you goodbye.
The chairman of Brain of Britain was Robert Robinson, and the questions were sent by Kevin Ashman. The programme was devised by John P. Wynne, and the producer was Richard Edis. And if you'd like to be considered as a contestant for Brain of Britain 2007, please write now requesting an audition to Brain of Britain, BBC Broadcasting House, London W1A1AA, with the daytime telephone number, and you'll be contacted next year.